I'm hearing then there's a right relationship that is meant to happen. It's developmentally, we are wired to have this relationship. Is that true?
Yes, and with neuroscience, there's been an explosion in what we understand about the brain, and that it does continue to grow throughout our lifespan, and that the brain grows as a result of our relationships and our experiences. And so with that said, our work that we do in RDI is amazing, because we can actually, what we're trying to do is, by creating very mindful parents, we're helping to create thinkers. We're helping to create children who can go out into the world and dynamically make decisions and to function effectively and to have relationships themselves with other people and not be afraid.
Wow.
I just wanted to add to that in terms of where we are now. In terms of creating a thinker and someone that can think for themselves, I definitely don't want listeners to get the idea that it's always going to remain a very hands-on parent-child interaction. Like, we were repairing things that were missing from typical, 0 to 2-year-olds, right? Even though he was older. So now that we've done that first 2 years, we're moving into this really beautiful stage where I'm backing off. And my job now is just to be there to help him witness himself be able to do so many things all on his own. And so in our homeschooling life, and part of why I didn't want to reveal our entire identities here, is because we haven't told the homeschooling community, just close friends, about his diagnosis, because he has friends and is supported and is doing great. So it's not about maintaining control over a child in any way, in terms of, if that makes sense. It's definitely about continuing to back off and support them in becoming their own little people and independent thinkers.
The picture I'm getting, I guess maybe because the mother duck and the babies kind of stimulated this picture in my mind. I think of a garden. You know, when we first start planting a seed, they often sometimes need little props and guidance, and we need to make sure we pluck any little weeds around them, because they need a lot of extra support. But once the plant starts to grow, we can really back off. We can water, and we can create the conditions, we can fertilize the ground, all of those wonderful things, but we can back off a little bit and let them grow. And I think is that a good analogy?
It's a great analogy.
But I do, I'm really glad you brought that out, Carol, that it's, you do some sort of intensive work at the beginning, and that's kind of developmentally appropriate, isn't it? And then when those pieces are missing, if you notice they're missing later on, you just kind of go back a step a bit, repair that loss, and then you can move forward from that point. And I'm hearing, too, that you can really rest in that place of development. Like, even someone with autism, I've even seen people with what would be called a developmental delay. It may take a little longer to get to a stage than, say, normal, but that development is wired in us. Is that the idea?
Yeah. Most definitely.